Hey, before the video starts, I just want to let you know that this is the finals gameplay, and I'm actually not that good at the finals, but yeah, it's just don't even pay attention to that. So, hey everyone, I'm just existing. Thanks for clicking on this video. I just want to get into the topic of existence. Isn't it crazy to even be here in the first place, you know? There has been some crazy things happening in the world recently, and especially in America right now. Kind of feel like weirded out with a lot of things going on and seriously uncomfortable. Like the title says, and like my name says, I'm just trying to exist. I was given this life like you watching, and I've got to make the most of it. Well, at 22 in 2026, there's a lot I've had to grow up for and change to understand. I mean, shit, the price of things, trying to make do with what I have and live in my means. And I also got married last year, so. But navigating life as a married 22-year-old man who works a normal 9 to 5 job, I don't know, man. I do landscaping, so pretty glamorous. I know. I'm learning to save money and afford things that, me and the wife need. I also have a dog and 3 cats and a milk snake who are all just existing with tons of love, obviously, but in our apartment. So this video's kind of half me rambling and half serious topics to stay, so stay with me. But navigating through everything has been, kind of rough. It's kind of a jump. You go from one stage in life to the next, and everything's been gone so fast. Has it been tough for anyone else, or just me? Of course it is. I mean, the state of the economy and affording a house and life, it just feels like it's been almost impossible. I'm not a doomer or have a doom set. Neither do I want to promote that attitude in life. I have a good life regardless, and I'm super thankful to be here. I love my wife and the time I have. So I guess things aren't so bad. I've been trying to find work-life balance, and a balance for, the family I have. And, I mean, safe to say it's been difficult. I really do strive to be successful, And I measure success by how happy I am and how much time I get to spend with friends and family. And right now I may not be as successful, but soon I'm sure I can be, and be just as happy as I want to be. I just want to say, everyone out there, keep trying, because you are an important person and you are somebody. I think it's insane that if you're listening to this right now, you're a whole ass person with a whole ass life in front of you and a future. Who am I? I'm just some guy on the internet talking into a microphone while there's, gameplay in the background. Not pretty shitty gameplay too, probably. I don't know. I'm recording the gameplay after I record this voice thing. I don't know how this YouTube shit is supposed to work, um, but yeah, you have your own future and your own, life and everything ahead of you. I mean, the people that are not listening still have futures. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think watching this video adds years to your life, but you are a person, a human, not better than anyone, one else, or not worse. You're special in your own unique way as a human being. I'm just rambling now. But I know things can be hard, and certain situations, slash circumstances can cause you to feel down or not good enough, or like there's no future in your future of the entire future. But listen, with the economy and circumstances, none of that shit matters. This is our one life on Earth. I feel like you need to make the most of it. And that's kind of why I'm just rambling in this first video. It's just about existing. I think you just need to exist. We overcomplicate things way too much, My brain doesn't work like most people, so when I say make the most of it, I'm not talking about like the biggest, best house or car or being an actor or even a YouTuber or even, I don't know. I guess just don't be, I don't know, Diddy. I'm just saying, do what you want, if you want to be into like naked yoga and stuff, do it, you know, as long as it's in the confine of your house and not like out in public. But if you want to sleep, then fucking sleep. If you want to skip work and go hiking, just bring some water, you know? Like, there's so many ways to enjoy life, and don't let anyone tell you how to enjoy life, this experience, you know? If you just want to doom scroll Instagram Reels, don't let someone try to tell you that you're wasting your time. Granted, I mean, it's not like necessary for you to do that, and like it's not really good for you. But if that's how you want to enjoy the time on Earth, then do it, you know? That's your choice. You're a human being. And I just want to get into like a little bit of myself and just say, like, when I was a little kid, I was taken from my parents. You know, it wasn't a good home life. You know, I went to live with my great-grandparents because they adopted me, and I was given a new chance at life, and I will forever be grateful to them for what they did. They're getting older and retired, and they took, you know, me on, and they didn't have to sacrifice their retirement to raise me, but they gave me a new life anyways. And we also traveled a lot and stuff besides school, so yeah, I think they did get to enjoy their retirement too, but anyways, I didn't get a normal childhood, you know, childhood stuff. But what I did get, you know, I'm like super thankful for. I had to teach myself, you know, quite a few lessons in life, like right out the gate. You know, I went through a lot of my childhood, you know, the kidnapping, the merciless bullying. No. The kidnapping, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to get that vulnerable, but you know, going through a weird, awesome, traumatic, loving childhood is kind of weird, and I came out kind of scarred, but, you know, I'm not a little, you know, little bitch about it. I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it, but, you know, I was very confused and hurt, you know, and I would say in my hurt with, you know, this bullshit poor me attitude I had, you know, I wasn't focused, you know, I was just so focused on all the bad that I didn't think, like, things could have been way worse for me. I could have not been adopted, went to a random home, you know, forced to a basement and to, you know, make clothes for people. I don't know. And I mean, a lot of other kids have it a lot worse. You know, things are a lot worse for a lot of other people on Earth. And, you know, I had to teach myself that, because you don't really realize how good you have it. You know, I may be just existing, but it's a good existence. You may feel like your existence is not worth it, but I'm telling you it is. Just being here to experience the good and the bad is what makes it worth it. You know, I love you, you complete stranger, you beautiful son of a bitch, come here. But I, you know, hope that we could all exist together in togetherness. And I hope my cat stops pissing on the stovetop. I think, you know, he's doing that out of spite, but I can't prove it. You know, my wife has been baking a lot of bread, so I wonder if it's a yeast smell that makes him pee on the stove. But I don't have proof or scientific evidence of that, you know, that the yeast can make him pee. But does the yeast pee? Does the yeast smell like pee? Like, does it have a pee smell that makes him want to pee? Because cats pee on top of the other cats pee, but... Hey guys, so I actually looked it up. I looked up, does yeast make cats pee? And it says, yes, yeast growth in cats can lead to internal infections. I didn't mean that they had a yeast infection. I was looking up, it's kind of gross. I was looking up, you know, if the smell of yeast maybe made them pee, but I don't think it correlates. Anyways, I would say check out my other videos, but this is my first one. You know, if you could like the video though, that would be awesome. It really help, you know, tell YouTube that you enjoy the shit. You know, let them know. Also, please subscribe. I'll be uploading every week. You know, I'm trying to figure out the days. You know, I work a straight up 9 to 5 and everything too. But I really want to speak on the things that I've, you know, had in my head for a while. I'm fucking crazy. But yeah. So, love you, you random stranger. Remember, just keep existing.
There's a few, there's a T, there's a P, there's a diamond piece. I didn't fly this track, I didn't fly.